Hello, this is Grant Rogers from One Word Production, working with Final Cut 10. Going to show you to do some chroma keying. Final Cut is changed everything, and so you need to relearn everything. So I thought I'd just throw you some tips on chroma keying. So we'll also see some interface stuff too as well as we do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually throw a track on the very bottom. So if I go to Generators, which is this tab right here, actually there was a cool thing that I found, this placeholder, just while I was thinking about doing this video. I'll put that there, and if you want to make it bigger or smaller, you can push Command T to make it to zoom in. Also, there's this right down in this area you can do with the mouse. So this placeholder, as I click on it, oh, my color adjustment is on, which is another cool feature. What it does is it shows you there's some different things here, and we're going to change to have, well, it's a woman right now, but we're going to remove the woman, and we're going to make it into a city, downtown. Oh, we're at the beach, sunny day, whatever. It's just, and then we're going to throw our subject matter on top of this clip here. I'm just going to take and grab a piece here. You can traditionally do the I and the O to make the ins and outs, or you can just drag across it and select a clip. There's also a new feature that it has that is called skimming, and it's turned on and off by pushing the S key, and it'll skim across it and show you what you have. And then you can, like I say, select an in and an out, which for some reason it doesn't want to allow me to. So I just push the I and the O. I'll just go there, O, and then I can take and drag this piece over top of this. I've supersized my mouse so that you could see it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add the chroma keyer, which is actually called a keyer, and it's found in this area right here. There's all the different effects that you have, and I'm already on the keying section here, but you can actually search for different effects here just by typing it in, and they will come up. Now I can allow or put this onto this clip here by either selecting the clip and then double clicking the keyer, or I can just drag it onto it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it onto it, and as you can see, it keyed right away. Everything's gone. You can see the subject matter there. Which is really cool. Also, another thing to point out is there's this inspector, which is right in the corner, and they've kind of put everything into that. And so if you want to see all your details, there's an inspector, and then you can scroll down with unlimited features on it. You can show them or hide them. One of the things that I love to do is crop stuff. Obviously, you need to crop this picture, and I thought that they changed the way that you could do it, but you can do it the old way and the new way. So here's the new ways. You just click onto this button here, and it gives you these handles, and then you just move it from a corner into remove our background. So now all of a sudden we got this, whoops, I dragged it. So we just move it in like that, and there we have some keying done. If we want to move the subject to the front of it so he doesn't have this drop area right there, we select this transformation tool here, and now it gives me the ability to move him into the foreground. So there, it looks like he's standing there. Okay, and then when you're done, you just push done, and that has moved him. One of the things I wanted to say about the that was cool about the cropper is that if you go here and you show the cropper, this is the typical what the pro versions showed before. Then you would move them left and right this way. Another neat thing that I've found is actually if you go into this and you punch on the number, or you hold over the number and then you push down, you can actually drag it up or down by dragging the mouse up or down. It actually moves it back and forth, which is a cool thing. And so yeah, our subject is there. Keying. Now we're going to see the settings on our chroma keying. So if we go up here, I'm scrolling up. Here's the keying feature. They've built in spill suppressors and different things into this. And because I had a half decent chroma key, everything just is gone instantaneously. But if you didn't have a great chroma key, you could use this sample color. And when you select it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all, I'll show you these different views, and there's a purpose for each one of them. This is the original. This is, you can see what's being keyed out, and then this is your composite, what is the final product. And there's at different times you can look at it. So if I go to this original, and let's say I'm having some problem up here because you can see, I don't know if you see a little bit of white in this color. It's good to know that that's where the problem is coming from and why it's coming from there. So what you would do is this is red when it's selected, then you would actually take and you would grab, let me try this again. I didn't push the done button to unselect that. Now I've got this and I get this cropping thing, and it's mega size because I'm allowing you to see it. And you just scroll over and it'll actually pick all the colors in that area and key that area right out there. And if you have a problem over here, you can also reselect another area and select the problem area. Another cool thing that you can do with this is you can put keyframes, so that if one section of video is really good but then another is a little bit sketchy, you can actually keyframe these areas and customize it. So like I say, this is to show you. So those are the two areas that are showing you the samples that it's taking there. This device here is for the edging. And what you're supposed to do with it is select the subject and then drag it out to the side. So what it's doing is it's sampling the green and it's sampling the subject matter. So if I go to the original form, it's sampling here. And what it's doing is if you use this adjustment, obviously you won't see it as adjusted because I've the mode that I'm in, which is the original. You don't see any adjustment. But if I go to here, it'll actually adjust the edges. And sometimes it's supposed to help you with when you have problems with hair and edging, stuff like that. So that is what that section does. You can take and back the strength down. So sometimes you can see how I'm sharpening up as I back the strength off. You don't always want it to be 100% strength because of the fact that you will lose quality. So you can back the strength down. I've backed it way off and I'm still getting a decent chroma key on there. This spill level is designed for, sometimes you get green that bounces off of the green screen, and you can correct the color by moving it back and forth. This one's not too bad. And then there's filling holes and edge distance. The edge distance, kind of the same as other ones, it actually widens the edge of your subject and the green for fine, but because I have a pretty decent chroma key, there's not a problem. If there's little holes, sometimes as the video plays you get this grainy stuff in the corners, you can use that to help fill it. A couple other thoughts to add to this. I'm just editing this in. When you look at the size here of the subject, you can actually zoom in if you're really trying to get to see your edges. As well, there's this box that comes up. What it does is it allows you to move around inside of it. If you're full screen, it won't be there. If you go to this matte mode, you can kind of really see the outline defined. Then you can use these edge distance and fill holes to really see what's happening with your whole subject area by doing that. So that can help you in that. Sometimes I switch back and forth if I have a bad keying area and I want to see why the problem is there, like might see a ripple in the cloth or a light shining through. But like I say, this keyer is I think 100 times better than the last keyer from the previous Pro versions. So that was one thing. Now I want to show you something that's really cool. I'm going to add another subject into this, and I'm going to put her right there. Oh, it didn't work. I'm still getting used to moving stuff onto the timeline. It has a few issues. So if I push Shift Z, same as last previous versions, you can see the whole project. I'm just going to pull that back by dragging the end. And then to zoom back in, I'm going to push Command T, and it'll bring me back up here. So one of the things that's really cool, and I used to do in previous versions, was copy attributes from one clip to the other. So if I click on myself, I've added the chroma key, and I push Command C as copy. I can copy it, or else we can go here and go copy, obviously. And then if I go to the next subject, then I go to here and the paste effects. You can see the hotkeys right here. And bang, she has the same attributes, the chroma key and everything, although we can see we're having some problems with the uh, whatchamacallit, background, and so we're just going to crop that out. Cropping is the word I was looking for. So we're going to crop this out. Then we're going to move her by hitting the transform key and move her back over here. Now she looks really huge comparative to where we were, like where I'm standing, and so I would just maybe make her smaller, like she's standing in the background way back there. Now as you look at this subject, if you want to take it to another level, these look totally unrealistic, but you kind of get the effect because I'm outstanding in this color here. What I would suggest, and this takes lots of different tweaking, is add a filter to the subjects here to try to blend it in a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is I have this effects filter open. Whoops. And I'm going to look for, I know there's a black and white feature which you can find. I have to go to all and then do the search from down here. And I will add it to myself here. And now I've become black and white. It blend in a little bit better for this background. And then as well, you can tweak that. Now I'll have I have the keyer, and then I have the black and white feature, and I can change the color or the amount or whatever I want to do. Make it a little more sepia. The other thing is this background here realistically is quite sharp, and I'm sharp, so I would add a blur to the background. So if I click on there, and actually when you're in this mode, this transform mode, you can select different subject matters in the displayer, and if you turn it off done, then it just becomes solid. So what I was saying, adding a blur to this background, what we'll do is we can actually just go here and see blur. I'll do this really quick because it says black in there. It's blocking black blur because there's no such thing. So you have to make sure that that's empty. And I'm just going to throw a Gaussian blur onto the background. And it's way overkill blur, but maybe that's what you might want. Here's the settings for the Gaussian blur that I just set onto this track. And I would just back it off a bit so it becomes a little more natural. And I probably should add a Gaussian blur to her because she's in the background. So I'll throw a Gaussian right onto her. And now she's out of control, blurry. And somehow I think that the Gaussian got duplicated onto the wrong thing. To get rid of an effect, you just select it and you push delete and it goes away. So now I'm going to select onto her. Make sure I've got the right subject, and I have a keyer, and I do have a Gaussian on her. It looks like it went to both of them, so I'm going to just back off the Gaussian a little bit and just kind of make it so that she's not as Gaussian-y. And then obviously she's in color, so I would add that black background again, or I have to go to all. Obviously, the best thing would be to do is to add all your effects onto the main subject and then just paste all the attributes to your other subjects as well instead of doing it this way, but I just kind of wanted to show your way around it. So that's just a couple other things to help create a more realistic effect. You can color me or change your colors to better suit the background here because that really makes it, the blending factor makes a big difference. So I found that just quite helpful too. Okay. Great.